That's part. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Chris, you are a gentleman and a scholar.
Rodeo.
Last week.
So anyway, how long of a reveal should we do tonight?
I don't think it's going to be very long. It might be.
I guess it's going to depend on what we actually reveal, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we can reveal more than one thing,
I guess we can.
or we can reveal no things.
I sent Dave a message that his
Last week of July.
Dave DeVoe.
Dave DeVoe. So here he is.
There's been a couple classes.
All right, so I'll get with him after after we are going for a memento. That would be good.
I actually
all right.
saw it, and it's by.
So, all right. Okay. I think we're basically ready to do this, aren't we? Okay. All right.
Not ashamed of it.
Beautiful.
Right?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our Friday reveal. This is going to be a fun one. Lots of people are in the audience. I don't know if you know this, but I got a bit of good news from Jam Jimmy today. I got
it too.
Oh, did you? Okay. I need to reach out to him because we've been.
I already did.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I did.
Keep going.
Because, yeah. So anyway, but he's watching tonight. So yeah. So maybe Kiki is watching too. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, yeah. And what did you think of the JJJ breakfast burrito?
It was good. I liked it.
I'm ready for another one.
Every day.
I love breakfast burritos. Okay. So Chris, tell me a little bit about what is going on today because it's been so long since I talked to you.
What is going on today?
Yeah.
As far as
how was your day?
Oh, it was good. So we did some work this morning. I buttoned up some things. I kind of double checked some things, made some adjustments on some stuff. Basic kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then we had lunch.
We shipped a few more guitars out. Some
more
people
guitars.
Yep. So there is one more case. So if you haven't if you paid for your guitar between the live stream last night and right now, it's shipped. But there's a handful of guitars that there's still a balance on. There's no rush. It's not like we're gonna, the guitars are good to go. But there's one more case. So the next guy who pays off his guitar gets it boxed up and shipped out. And then everybody else has to wait to get the rest of the cases from Mike that are also on the way. Mike's guitar with the dots did not, I made an error. I told everybody that if your guitar was paid for, it went out on the first day of the week, except for his because we put clay dots in it. That went out a little bit later. So
yesterday or Wednesday?
Yesterday.
I think yesterday we tried to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as of right now, though, there's no guitar in the shop that's in a box waiting to go out. They're all gone. And our good friend Bobby Dill stopped by. Actually, he's still here.
He is, yeah. That's why we didn't get a lot of work done this afternoon.
Because we wanted to goof off with Bobby Dill.
We knew that was going to happen.
It was really a good day to just kind of work a little bit in the morning.
To not work, and we worked our plan to not
There's
work.
one thing we're good at. It's doing that plan. So yeah.
Yeah, you said, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot done tomorrow afternoon, and I went,
yes. Paul Needs asks, no hat, and I was thinking the same thing. Where's your hat?
I don't think he's asking me.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I'm only an occasional hat wearer. You are the hat daddy.
Hat daddy. I just wanted to have my gray hair show. Yeah. What's that?
I have some too.
Oh, okay.
Yours is in a different place.
Mine's on the top. Yeah. See, it's like a lot of.
Yeah.
It's right in there, dude. So anyway. So Chris, tell everybody about the reveal that we're going to do tonight and tell everybody why this particular instrument is so important as a surf icon.
Okay.
And
Let's
I'm
start
gonna
with
tell
the
it-
first part of that.
Okay.
So this is a guitar that has been a really long time coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's for a guy named Charles.
Yep.
And he ordered this guitar a really long time ago.
Yep.
And he was going to spec all the parts and pay over time. And I think for whatever reason, it just dragged on for a really long time. So much so that I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
And we made the body and we made the neck, and those two things were lying around.
Yeah.
And then in October or November, something like that, he hit us up and he's like, hey, what's it going to take to get my guitar going? And I was like, oh, I didn't realize we were supposed to be working on it. And he was like, no, it's cool. You know, it took me a long time to get parts and,
Yep.
and paid off and all this. He's a law student.
Okay.
And so we finally, you know, got back on it and got it done this week. And why is it an iconic surf guitar?
Yeah.
Because the Ventures played them to great fanfare.
Okay.
At some point, the Ventures aren't even a surf band, but
a lot of people associate.
yeah, a lot of people associate this guitar with surf music. Really, it's more Ventures music.
Yep.
And yeah, and the funny thing is they only played them for like 3 years.
So the reason that it's I was going to say it's also a punk rock icon, because a band that I don't consider to be a punk rock band, I just consider to be a rock band. The Ramones, pretty much Johnny Ramone is known for that guitar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Mosrite style instrument is well, lots of people have played them.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people have played stuff that's not a Mosrite but looks kind of like that.
Yeah, and I think that's the Ventures influence and the Ramones influence. And depending on who you ask,
Yeah,
it's totally the Ramones or it's the Ventures.
That's a great question. Who do you think who wore it best? The Ventures or Johnny Ramone?
Yeah.
And I think Johnny Ramone certainly played the Mosrite longer.
Well, and I would even say, to more fanfare.
Yeah. What's that?
To more fanfare. Now the Ventures are huge in Japan.
Yeah.
So Mosrite guitars are huge in Japan.
I wonder if the Ramones are big in Japan.
I don't know. I'm sure they're a thing, but probably not that big of a thing. Ventures are titanic.
You think, okay, so,
Japan.
and I don't know the answer to this. So do you think that the Ramones are less popular in Japan in 2023 than the Ventures are?
Yes,
Wow. Okay.
I believe so.
Okay. Cool. Well, without further ado, let's show off what our version of the what we call the Toastrite. And this is a guitar that
It's got dust on it.
we shan't be making very many more of. So Charles, if you're watching, here's your guitar.
Hopefully he's actually, doing well at law school and not just goofing around on the YouTubes.
You know, someone's got to graduate top of their class.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to be watching YouTube videos, which means not everybody can graduate at the top of their class. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So if you're at law school and you're goofing around watching YouTube videos, happy meal for me. Okay.
Yep.
So what do we got here, Chris?
So this is a Mosrite Ventures model.
No.
That's what this model is called.
Oh, even though
Although it's a Texas Toast Ventures model guitar.
All right.
Like a Mosrite, but not.
But not.
Charles spec'd all the parts. So let's go tuner to tail. So this has shallower open window tuners. I've never seen these before. They look really neat.
Okay.
Maple neck. Some sort of dark rosewood-like board, maybe even rosewood.
I believe it's Palfaro.
Sure, I'll go with Palfaro.
It's bound.
It's bound. Yep. I don't recall what the body is. Doesn't really matter because it's blue now. It's metallic blue. And Charles spec'd all the parts.
What do we got here?
So it's got some pretty hoity-toity stuff.
Got some pretty Gucci stuff.
The talent bar is from Hallmark.
Hang on a second.
Sure.
Van Shank Guitars just gifted 5 Texas Toast Guitars memberships. I have no idea what that means.
That's cool.
Lefty O was gifted one. Tom L, Ed DePriest, Jacob and a Ghost, and Jeremy Cole were all given memberships by Van Shank Guitars. How cool is that?
Cool.
Okay.
So it's got a Hallmark talent bar. It's got a Mastery bridge which is big dollars, really, really nice. These pickups were actually wound by Mosrite founder Semi Mosley's daughter, Dana Mosley, who wound pickups for her father for a bunch of years at some point, and then was winding pickups for use on some Japanese Mosrites.
Okay.
And that's what those are. Yeah. And
so this one is unlike the Ramones guitar. This one actually has all of the German carve.
yeah, this has got the German carve on it. Yeah.
So you guys can see
Which Semi learned during his time at Rickenbacker, where another guy named Roger Rossmeisel worked, whose father sort of made the German carve famous, and then Roger made it famous as well.
So this area here and this area here just have a like a 1/2-inch cove.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people think that if you put a 1/2-inch cove around the guitar, that's a German carve. That ain't it.
I don't believe that's true.
I don't believe it either. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think the real money is right.
It has
through
to be.
here.
Yeah, it has to be all sculpted out. Otherwise, it's just a 1/2-inch cove.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
which is cool, but
the
not
Unibox
as cool.
copies had just a 1/2-inch cove all the way around. Yeah.
Scott Martinez wants to know the story behind the neck pickup.
Scott Martinez wants to know the story behind the neck pickup and probably why
And
it's angled.
Why it's angled.
That's a
I
great
think
question.
Semi Mosley was really, really good visually. And this guitar is, I think, quite stunning visually, especially if you think about it in 1959 when he first started sort of drawing this thing up.
Yeah.
He did the slanted pickup on a lot of his stuff. And I think a lot of the time he did that because that was really the only way the pickup was going to fit the guitar.
Okay.
Because you have German carve and all this other stuff, and he wanted the neck where he wanted it, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So it just sort of worked out that way. And I think it's more of a visual cue than a sonic cue. Yeah, these pickups are crazy hot.
Oh, what do you reckon
They're more
they
like, I
weigh
didn't measure
in at?
these, but typical Mosrite pickups are 13, 14K.
Okay.
Yeah, P90-esque. All this stuff was made in-house, and they're a marvel of hardware store parts and the ability to form plastic.
Okay.
So
Can
yeah.
you still get some wound by her anymore?
I don't know if she winds pickups. There's another guy named Ed Elliott
And
that
we've
worked
gotten
for Mosrite.
we've gotten a bunch of pickups from Ed.
Yeah,
Very cool.
he's in
guy.
Oklahoma. He's a really cool guy. He makes guitars very similar to this, and he winds pickups, and his are excellent as well. He sells them on eBay.
Beavis
about
wants to
$100
know,
a pop.
is this a mastery bridge? It is a mastery bridge.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Daryl wants to know, what is the body wood? I want to say this is alder. I think I
might
know
be
it's
alder.
not basswood.
No, it's not.
because it's
basswood.
not as light as a basswood body.
Yep.
Which is what the original Mosrites were.
I
Were they
believe so.
not?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've read. Although I can't imagine he wouldn't just use about anything he could get his hands on.
Okay.
But I think during the heyday they were basswood.
This came from, we did a run of like 7 or 8 Mosrites. If you've seen any videos from back in the original shop, this body was actually built back in the Gray Street, the Gray Street shop.
It was, and as I recall, well, I know for a fact that we made these with the copy carver. And we got the copy carver out that day. We had our master template, and we put it on, and pretty soon every free piece of wood in the shop
Became a Mosrite.
ended up as a Mosrite shipped body that day. And all of a sudden there were 8 or 9 of them. I think we might have learned a whole bunch about the copy carver too that day.
Yep.
And then we went, okay, now
What do we do with all these Mosrites? Yeah.
And the answer was a bunch of necks.
Sell them all eventually. Slowly.
Yes,
So after
slowly.
6 or 8 years, this is the last one of those.
Yeah.
Now there's another Mosrite back in the wood shop right now. That's an order.
Yep.
And how many more of these do you want to make, Chris? After that one?
Not very many.
None.
And it's not because I don't like this guitar. It's just, it's so unique and so different.
Yep.
And one of the things that I'm slowly learning about building guitars is when you make more than one, a whole bunch, like if you have a series of 10 of them to do, you get pretty good at making 10 of them.
Yep.
And if you have, and you make another set of 10 of that same guitar, you get even better at it. and things improve, guitars improve, speed improves, everything improves. So yeah, these are very, very unique guitars. For as much as it just looks like a regular guitar, there's a bunch of quirks.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
So a couple of people have asked, so is this your own custom color, or is this $90 blue?
This is Tamco Bluetiful.
Okay.
Is what this color is called.
Beavis wants to know, do we still have the copy carver? Yes, we do, and we use it all the time. Lefty O says, get Steve to make templates and jigs for the Mosrite. Okay, I don't exactly have enough juice with Steve to make.
I think if you want him to make that, you can certainly have him do it. The funny thing about this is, the outline of the guitar is no big shake.
Yeah.
Doing
the outline
Cove, that's easy.
Uh-huh.
That's a router bit. All of this stuff starts getting real complicated if you're making more than one by hand.
Yeah.
Grinding all that stuff out. With the copy carver, it's easier.
Yep.
You got some unique neck angles. Got some. It's a unique guitar.
Steve Fam 5, it does not have a 0 fret. Remember, this is a guitar that we made, not a Mosrite copy. Well, it is and it's not. Yeah.
It's inspired.
Yeah.
But it's not a Dead Nuts Mosrite copy.
Wayne wants to know, have you ever tried to use wood glue as a sanding sealer, either straight or watered down? No, it would never occur to me to do that. I don't know if it does or doesn't work, but sanding sealer is a product that you can just get. So
you could use glue like that as a pore filler, maybe,
but I would say
you can also use drywall mud.
Absolutely. Yep, you could.
Yeah.
I would say, if you want to, trying something for the sake of trying something is certainly a worthy endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say if you can easily get sanding sealer, so I would just get that, whether you get the vinyl stuff or if you are ready to step up to the Simtech stuff, which is what we use. So anyway, okay, well, Chris, what else?
I think that might be it.
I think this
guitar looks really, really good on camera, which is cool.
Guitar,
it's really, really good in person too. But
It looks good.
yeah,
It's
sometimes stuff doesn't come off as good as you're hoping on. It is very blue.
Would you say it's beautiful?
So yeah, so when Charles and I were talking about color, he's like, I want some sort of metallic blue. So
Okay.
I sent him. I had probably 4 or 5 different metallic blues, and I took all the lids off and I showed him, and he's like, oh yeah, that's definitely the number one there. And I was like, yeah, cool, all right. I'm looking forward to using it because we hadn't used this color before.
Yeah.
And I shot it and I was like, oh my Lord, that is blue. And
what kind of tremolo is this?
I'm super excited. This is made by Hallmark. It's a reproduction of the original Mosrite.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a nice trem. They're really neat, but they sit really proud of the body.
Okay.
And so you have to take that into consideration with neck angle and bridge height and stuff like that.
What if you're gonna build a Mosrite today with a blank sheet of paper? What would you keep and what would you change?
Blank sheet of paper.
Yep.
The trem is really close to being good or what I think it should be. It's got this weird thing. This is super nerdy. Where the idea is when you press it down, all the strings bend at the same rate, so it should stay in tune.
What do you mean they all bend at the same rate?
Well, so if you play
Don't they all do that?
like let's say you play an E chord,
all right,
and you should be able to bend down to a perfect D.
Okay.
I don't know if that works or not, but the way they do that is they change the height of where the string goes in this bar.
Let me see if we can.
Can you see that? Can you see the ball ends?
You can see in there.
And you
right
see
there.
how they are there? That's supposedly to keep it in tune.
Okay.
Well, so some of the strings are really high, which affects your break angle over the bridge, which means your bridge has to be taller, which means your neck has to be angled or taller and all this other stuff.
Okay.
And that creates a lot of problem with modern kind of ideas on neck angle and bridge height and stuff like that.
Okay.
As you can see, this bridge is
pretty up there,
fairly tall, and it has to be there because of this tremolo. So you could recess this, or you could just make all those straight. and that would be fine because I don't think it really works.
It probably
And I don't
isn't
know
that
too
big
many
of a
people
deal.
that are playing chords and needing the chord
Yeah.
to stay in tune as you go down.
Peter
Or up.
says that if he had 10 seconds, he'd choose this guitar.
There you go. Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, that was going to be my answer yesterday, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to spoil the reveal for today. Other stuff that I would change?
Yep. So you wouldn't put a Kaler on this then?
No, I've actually seen that guitar.
I have too.
Yeah.
I've held that guitar.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of the coolest looking guitars.
One of the wackier guitars
Yeah,
that
people
really
say this
does.
is,
It
simply a
ages
flipped
well.
over Strat.
Hogwash.
Yeah, absolute bunk. If you flip this over and you put a Strat template on it, not even close.
Not even close.
This is in a lot of ways, I think, like a modern art kind of project.
Yep.
It's wacky, and there's
Yeah.
no mistaking a Mosrite when you see one.
Nope.
So I like that part of it, and I don't know, the pickups are cool. They're hot as hell.
Uh-huh.
They really push an amp. That's fun. Yeah, I don't know, but they've never been wildly popular.
One thing that I would do differently than the original Mosrite is I would make the nut wider.
Oh,
And that's
well,
what this has is
yeah.
a wider nut. This has a 1 and
Let's
11/16.
say 11/16. Yeah, the originals were like
nut.
1.5.
1.5.
And they had these
downright
frets
skinny.
that they were tiny frets, and then they were ground completely flat.
Okay.
Because the whole no bending, just really fast.
Okay.
And yeah, Sidney Mosley had hands like Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
He could play these things.
Yep.
And that's been everybody's complaint from the beginning of time is, why is the neck so small?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the coolest Mosrite? Okay. So if this guitar is a surf guitar, surf rock,
Uh-huh.
punk rock, surf music icon,
Okay.
who's the neatest Mosrite player of all time?
Larry Collins.
Agreed. You wish you were as cool as Larry Collins.
Look him up.
Look him up. If you don't know Larry Collins, check out Larry Collins.
Yeah. And
1957 or 8.
on
and
Town Hall Party.
He was doing some stuff that was neater than everybody.
There's
So-
there's talk that he might have been the original punk rocker.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gang. Well, so thanks for hanging out with us for the Friday reveal. I hope that everyone has a great weekend. We've got a bunch of cool stuff coming at you in short order, including a video about some stuff that I wish I had when I attempted to build my first Les Paul back in 1989.
What do you mean attempted?
Well, in 1989, you'll have to watch the video because I go into it a little bit. And then after that, I actually did build several Les Paul style instruments. And I tell you what, I wish I would have had the stuff I'm going to show you guys on Sunday because, well, I would have gotten that Les Paul bug out of my system a lot faster. It just makes life so much easier. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you Sunday, right?
Yep.
All right, Charles, we're sending your guitar to you as soon as you send us the case,
Yep.
right? Is that okay?
Yep. It's going to happen here pretty quick.
All right, gang, take care and have a great weekend.